we have had some we have had some people struggling with the changes in brokerment in regards to transactions and creating buyer offers. So yes, they did come out with a change that did change up that process a bit. Once you're familiar with it, it does seem like the old way. Just getting to that buyer offer section is a little bit different these days. So you're no longer going to click on buyer offers. So when you go in to create a touring agreement or even a buyer agency agreement, and those are the only documents you need, you're still going to have to create a transaction these days. So you're going to have to click on transactions, and you're going to have your list of transactions here. And what you're going to want to do is create a new one. So create new. So, and then your new transaction information detail sheet's going to show up here. So the type of transaction it's going to be is a traditional sale, typically. Of course, yours may be different, but that's going to be the typical. And then your status. This is important. So your status is going to be opportunity, active, or pending. Your opportunities are going to be your touring agreements, your anything you need to just write an offer, things like that, or pre-listing. Active is when you have a buyer agency agreement signed. Pending is when you're under contract for all transactions. So we're writing a buyer offer, so we're going to do opportunity. So now you are representing the buyer. So the transaction name is going to be Joe Buyer 1. I'm just doing that because I've already got a Joe Buyer in here. I just want to differentiate this one. So anyway, so you're going to put in that, and then your additional fields. If you have a transaction fee, $5.95, put that in there and click on next. Or of course, if you have other information that you want to put in here that you may have, by all means, put it all in there. Click next. So now you are going to add yourself as the buying side agent, which is Toby. User, you are the user, not the contact, user. You may have your name in there different ways, potentially, possibly, but always choose user in this portion. So, and save. You are getting, hopefully 3%. So we're going to write that in there. And next. And now your buyer is Joe Buyer. I've got a Joe Buyer in there already, so we're going to create that. So it's going to create the transaction dashboard like this. Now it's going to be pretty bare because technically it's not in any kind of a pending or active status. So you can see here on the left, it is in opportunity status. So this is where you're going to check to see where you're at with your transaction and the status it is in. So right away, you're going to think, oh, well, normally when I'm here, I'm going to put in a checklist. No, you're not going to do that just yet. So what you're going to do is if you're writing offers or if you just need a touring agreement or a buyer agency agreement, but we're just going to go over here to offers. So, and then you can create your offers in this tab here. Remember, that's on your left under assets, offers. So, and then you're going to create offer. And if you have an MLS number, you can search the MLS or just create new. Your address can be obviously whatever the address you may be writing an offer on. 123 Main is the one I'm going to do, and we're going to say that's Topeka. Offer price of $100,000. We'll say closing date is going to be February 27th, and we'll say it's conventional mortgage. Once again, it'll have other additional fields you can add. New, let's see here, let's just say it's single family, and next. Now you have your Joe Buyer's your buyer, Toby Gallegos is the user, is the buyer's agent, and I am also the transaction owner. That's important, so make sure you assign yourself the transaction. So we're going to create. So now this is the familiar buyer offers page you guys are all used to. So now there's a couple ways you can get the documents you need. You can just click on I want to, and if you're just needing a touring agreement, you just go over here and hit create e-sign package, select first form, go to your car library, and then your brokerage relationships forms. And let's see here. Let's see here. Residential forms. No, where is the touring agreement? Hold on. Go back to company library. Go to car. Right there. Touring agreement. There it is. So, and then you can just pull up your touring agreement there, select next, and then you can put you're the agent. Joe Byers, if there's not another buyer, get rid of that one. Yes, delete signer and fields. You are the agent. So, and you are going to next. So, and then that creates your touring agreement, and then you can send for e-sign once you have it all filled out, everything from there. Print it, download it, save and close it. It'll stay in that dashboard area where you can send it later. You can also go in here and add, if you're writing a full-on offer, add the SAR buying offer package, which would also have all of your other documents you need, like your disclosures requiring buyer signatures, which you'll upload from, obviously you're pulling those from the MLS, but it'll have your buyer agency agreements, compensation addendum, which needs to be removed because that is now a part of the contract, and then your offer contract personal property. So that is the old way of doing it, which still works. You can still do it that way, but that's how you do that. Now, let's say everything goes through, your offer gets accepted. You're going to go back here and you're going to say, I want to, and then mark as accepted. So once you do that, it's going to accept, and you're going to update the parent transaction. So we have done that, and let's see here. And then you're going to go back, and now it's in your offer made, your offers tab here. So if you go back, now you're in your main page where it recorded the sales price of your offer, the transaction fee. If you need to edit information, you can still do that. Let's see here. So save. Your documents should show up in unsorted. Yep, there's your Kansas Touring. Now you just go and assign it to where it needs to be. So close, assign to. Oh, wait. Sorry, one step back. At that point, you need to go in and add the checklist. So this will become let's see here. Okay, so then you'll add your checklist. So this is a SAR buying checklist, so you're gonna add that. Acceptance date was just today. Add. Okay, so now you got your checklist. So now you go back to your documents. You're unsorted. Any of your documents that were in your offer are now in here, and now you can go in and assign it to the checklist item. So your touring agreement. Let's see here. Touring agreement. So now your transaction doesn't have any unsorted documents. You go back in here, you pull that back up. So you go into your thing there and you see that it's been uploaded to your checklist. Now, that's pretty simple. It's a lot the way it used to be, but just getting to that comfort zone, I guess the familiarity is a little bit different. Whereas you start a transaction now. Remember, you need to check your status. You need to check your buyer offer opportunity active and pendings. So right now you are switched to a pending. So that means that your offer has been accepted and you are under contract. So opportunity is pre-listing, pre-buyer agency. Active is agencies in place, whether it's a listing agreement or a buyer agency. And then pending will be once it's under contract. When it comes to compliance, if it is not in a pending status, it's not going to show up as a priority to be reviewed. So make sure that you are checking your pending status. And when you are submitting information for review, you can go here and submit file for review. So you can check that and it submits the file for review. It goes into the system, and then the compliance, Kelly Catlin, will see that a file has been submitted for review, and she will check it, based on the stage and the status. So if it is in pending, it's going to have a higher priority of checking the status. I highly recommend that you submit for review anytime you add documentation to this, changes anything to your checklist, submit it for review afterwards. Nobody wants to get to the end of the day, end of the time frame of closing, and it's day of closing or day after closing, and you're stuck trying to get documents signed or initialed or amended on that last day, or even worse, post closing. Most people hate signing things afterwards. You should have done that before. So make sure that you are submitting for review. That way, you know ahead of time if something needs to be changed, added, taken out, amended, whatever. So yeah, as often as possible, click it for review. So that's the walkthrough of the buyer offer situation. So, and if you are doing a listing, it's the same thing. You're going to start a transaction. It'll be in opportunity prior to it being active. If you were just talking to them, sending them a document over to get a review of that document, things like that. So it's pretty easy. Remember your status is opportunity, active, and pending. Opportunity is pre-listing, pre-buyer agency. Active is agencies. You're going to have listing agreement or you're going to have buyer agency agreement. And then your pending is you're under contract. So that's how we see things. Typically, we'll see it when they're active, but we don't really do much with it until it becomes a pending status. And that's when we need to know, we need to track it for a lot of different reasons. So make sure that you are on top of the tracking. If you guys have any questions on this, feel free to reach out. I'm more than happy to help you. But feel free to watch this video and pause, stop, start as many times as you need to. If you'd like a kind of an overview in person, let me know. I'm more than happy to do that. So have a great day, and appreciate you tuning in.